Do you ever feel like you're doing everything right, but you're still not getting the results? That was me just a few weeks ago. Like, I have not had a sync placement since April, so it's been over 6 weeks. But I stay consistent. I followed the plan that I set for myself, and I just landed a deal with a new music library that actually has upfront sync fees. This is the first time this has happened to me. I'm super excited. It's $3,000 plus any of the tracks that get placed. I get those back in royalties as well. I'm super excited. I want to tell you about it. So the whole subject of this video is for anybody out there that's like, you've put in your time to sync licensing, but you're not seeing any results yet. I want to tell you why staying consistent and why ramping up your productivity is, when it's slow, is the best idea and the best strategy. It's worked for me, and I'm going to tell you how it can work for you. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jason Dowdy. I've had over 86 placements so far on shows like Dateline NBC, Top Chef VIP, and some shows on Telemundo like El Conde and things like that. And I'm just kind of getting my hands wet, but it took a while to get me to this place. And I'm super excited about where I'm going to be like a year from now, 2 years from now, and 3 years from now. I do have a hashtag, no95 by 2028, if you want to follow my journey as I leave my job and do sync music full time. All right, cool. So, and I'll tell you at the end of this video exactly the plan that I used and where I found a community and a program that has helped me have this much success so far. So let's talk about this new deal. All right, so it's for 10 tracks. They're paying me $300 each. It's with a Canadian music library, which is really awesome. Like, I'm super excited. I'm going to make sure that when I deliver these tracks, they're going to be the best tracks I've ever done. I'm going to deliver it to them in a timely fashion. They didn't give me like a deadline, but you know, obviously I want to kick things off on the right foot and make sure it aligns with what they need. It's orchestral hip hop. So that's part of this story, right? I started these tracks back in, like, creating an album of orchestral hip hop, like sports types tracks, back in the end of December last year, right? And I've been working on it ever since. And then in early, I think it was February, I pitched to this library with my playlist of 5 tracks. They showed some interest. They were like, hey, thank you for sending these. We'll get back to you. Talk soon, you know, that type of thing. And I just heard back from them. Well, it's June now. It was maybe like 2 weeks ago when I heard back from them. So like around the beginning of June. Super excited, right? This is amazing. This is exactly what I've been looking for. It's a testament that the level of quality of my music has gone up, that my communication skills are working better. The plan that I've used to create better emails, reaching out to 5 libraries a day, all of these types of things are starting to pay off. It didn't happen overnight. This came from being ready when the opportunity knocked. So let's talk about the dry spell a little bit, right? So it's easy to feel discouraged if nothing's happening, right? I always use if you watched any of my other videos, I always use this example of bamboo. So bamboo, when you plant bamboo, it's building this intricate web of roots underneath the ground, and you do not see anything grow above the ground for 4 years, right? So think of it that way. This is a long game. You are building your intricate root system. You're building your habits, your processes, improving your music, making sure it's formatted correctly, learning which tools to use, how to do metadata, like all of these other things. You're building your intricate web. Now it's starting to grow, and when it starts to grow, it's going to snowball. I'm excited for what the next year is going to bring, because this is just the start. All right. If you want my strategies on what to do when things are quiet and you're getting no results, there's another video called Create More When It's Quiet. And I'll include at the end of this video, there's always some pop-ups, right? Subscribe or playlist. I'll include that video so you can check that out there if you want the details on what I did when it was quiet. So, but a couple of quick tips on that, you know, work on building a consistent weekly workflow that you do automatically. You know, take that time to create your strategy, but once you have your strategy, you create the tasks based on the strategy, and then you don't really have to think anymore. You have to revisit the strategy maybe every 6 months because of changes in the market and technology or whatever, but you know, you put it on autopilot and you just go in and you work and you put in consistency. I optimized my emails, my follow-ups. I studied where my music has already been, like where the type of music I make has already been placed. I use a tool called Sync Match where I can upload a track and they show me, all of the other tracks that are like mine that are getting placed right now and the music libraries that are placing them, which is great information. For those particular music libraries, I really took the time to study them more and prioritize them. So I'm not just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. I have a strategic focus plan on the music libraries I want to work with the most. And I'm continually improving my metadata, formatting, presentation. I've been working with AI a lot. I've streamlined my processes. I've hired a virtual assistant using Upwork. All of these things have freed up my time to make more music more often. So let's talk about the mindset that changed everything real quick. So resilience is doing the work when the results aren't guaranteed. So this is more than just like having a job, right? When you have a job, you're trading your time for money. It's that simple. I mean, you may get promotion opportunities or something like that, more responsibilities and get more money, but that's pretty much it, right? This, you're building something. You're actually building a catalog of intellectual property so that you can make music, you can make money while you're sleeping. One piece of music can pay you over and over again. So you're not trading your time for money. You're building something for your future, which I think is really, really cool. That's what I love about this. If you think of it as property, right? Let's think of it as real estate, like you're building actual little houses. Think of your tracks as little houses. If you build a house that has no bathrooms and where the foundation is cracked and it's 4 stories tall, but the top floor is bigger than the bottom floor and it looks like it's going to tip over, nobody's going to need that, right? Because it's not good quality and it's not meeting the needs of the people that want to live there. Think of your music in that way. When you create a piece of music, a piece of property, you want to create something that people want to live in, right? Or that music supervisors want to select to meet a certain mood in a song, to help tell a story, those types of things. So it's important that it's formatted correctly, that emotion is coming through your track, whatever emotion you're trying to convey, and that you compare it to other pieces of music out there so you know if you're, the type of music that is getting placed, is your music, does it fit, right? Is it a good house? Like when you're shopping for a house, you care if it meets your needs. You don't care how unique it is. You don't care how creative somebody was with it. You do and you don't, right? I mean, it's cool if there's some nice touches, but ultimately you need a toilet that flushes. You need a foundation that doesn't leak, right? There's some things that you need. So put that quality in and make sure it's right for people. But once you build it, think of building tiny little houses, right? Different people are going to rent those houses when you get it licensed. But you're the owner. You're the owner of that. And that will continue to pay not only you, but your family. 70 years after you're dead, they will continue to collect those royalties. So I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. I just trusted the system, the strategy that I put together. I just pitched, I improved, I repeated, I improved my music. I optimized my processes so I have more time to do music by using ChatGPT and using a virtual assistant, for example. And remember that every no is just part of the process, right? If you've ever shopped for a house or you've sold your house, they have open houses and hundreds of people may look at your house and decide it's not right for them. So don't take it personally. Same with your music. Sometimes we emotionally get attached to our music, but if somebody doesn't like it or it's not right for what they're trying to do, don't take that personally, right? Don't let your ego get involved. Just move on to the next. Have confidence that your music is good and that, a no is just part of it, which is cool. I think that stops a lot of producers, so that's why I wanted to touch on that. And then finally, consistency beats talent every single time. In the Sync Producer Hub, which is a community that I'm part of, there are people that can just make music in circles around me. Like the talent in that group is insane. It's crazy, right? But not everybody is as consistent as I am, right? The people that are consistent and make good quality music, make good houses, right, are going to be the ones that are killing it in sync, that are landing deals, that are getting $3,000 deals like I just got. So keep that in mind. If you're intimidated by other producers and you hear somebody's track and you're like, wow, I could never, create something like that. Don't let that stop you. Don't let that intimidate you. Realize that consistency and just staying with it and building a plan is way more powerful, and you're going to get a lot more success than just having the talent. You are talented, right? Just keep that in mind. You are talented, and maybe you'll reach that level if you just keep at it. So consistency, consistency, consistency. All right. So I feel like this success story proves the power of momentum. So the deal didn't come just from a new submission. It came from something I submitted months and months ago. It came from previous work. I had music in the pipeline, and it was the right fit at the right time. So keep that in mind if you're hitting a dry spell. That bamboo, that little intricate web of root system that you're growing, eventually you will sprout up stalks of bamboo. If this is a chopped up video where, so I use this tool called Opus Clip. If this is a chopped up video and you don't know what I'm talking about in bamboo, watch the entire YouTube video and you'll understand what I'm saying. But that's the power of front loading. That's the power of working every day, setting a plan, sticking with it, creating a good strategy, and optimizing everything. You're going to get there. All right. So key takeaways. So keep creating, even if you don't see immediate results. Follow up strategically, not desperately. Build a catalog so you're ready when that opportunity arrives. Focus on what you can control. Good quality music, output, communication, reaching out to music supervisors, process, all of that kind of stuff. And finally, if you want to join not only a community, but a program that will teach you how I'm doing all of this, and if you want to have a community of people that are killing it in sync right now, join the Sync Producer Hub. If you want to do that, just say the word sync in the comments, write the word sync in the comments, and I'll send you a link. Or it's in the description as well. You can just click on it there and learn more. But it's courses, it's community meetings, it's chats, it's encouragement, it's peer feedback, it's collaborations, there's just so much to the community, and it's what's helped me succeed so far with my 86 placements on network TVs and landing this $3,000 deal, right? I was able to do all of this because of what I learned there. So join us there. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to learn more about how to get your music into TV and film. All right. So thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one.